This video is titled Anorexia Dent and Masturbation. Anorexia is a health condition characterized by extreme weight loss. Anorexia Dent is the name given by Happeh Theory to a depression in the side of the torso of individuals whose bodies have experienced the extreme weight loss associated with anorexia. According to Happeh Theory, anorexic weight loss does not occur evenly over the entire body. According to Happeh Theory, the condition known as anorexia is the result of the extreme shrinkage of one half of the body. It is the extreme weight loss on one side of the body that causes the development of anorexia dent. This picture shows a woman with an extreme case of anorexia dent on the right side of her body. The anorexia dent is wide and curves deeply into the right side of the body. The curve in the same area of the left side of the woman's body looks relatively short and shallow. This example picture demonstrates the bodily changes associated with a case of anorexia dent so clearly that it could be used as a medical poster for teaching people about how anorexia dent changes a human body. The most attention-getting anorexia dent-related change to the woman's body, even more attention-grabbing than the anorexia dent itself, is the look of the woman's right leg. The right hip looks like it is moving to the right. The right leg looks relatively straight up and down. The right leg almost looks like it is standing there all by itself. An isolated leg that looks like it is standing by itself is the second main identifying characteristic of the bodily shrinkage that causes anorexia dent. The main identifying characteristic of the bodily shrinkage that causes anorexia dent is the anorexia dent itself. There are two reasons the right leg looks like it is standing there by itself. One reason is that the shrinkage of the right side of the body has shrunk the parts of the body that connect the right leg to the right side of the body. The line in this picture highlights the shrunken part of the right side of the body that should be connected to the right leg. The other reason the right leg looks like it is standing there by itself is because of the woman's pose. Her upper body is leaning to the left and her left leg is extended far out to the left. The woman's right leg looks like it is standing there by itself because it really is standing there mostly by itself. The right leg is leaning to the right while the rest of the body leans to the left. A vertical line drawn through the center of the right leg joint emphasizes how the woman's entire body looks like it is to the left of the right leg joint. The same shrinkage of the right side of the body that causes the anorexia dent and the isolated look of the right leg also changes the look of the woman's hips. While the look of the hips is partly the result of the right leg standing up straight and the left leg stretching out to the left, the long smooth curved look of the right hip and the much different rounded and shorter curved look of the left hip is the result of the same shrinkage of the body that caused the anorexia dent in the right side of her torso. Please note the relationship between the curves of the hips. The difference in the hips is not just a visual one. The changes to the hips affect how the hips and legs move. The short and humped look of the woman's left hip is responsible for the tendency of the woman's left leg to rotate and stretch out to the left. The difference in height between the standing straight up right leg and the stretched outward and rotated left leg make the hips and the shoulders look slanted from high on the right to low on the left. This picture highlighted an area of the right side of the body that was said to be shrunken by anorexia. It was claimed that the shrinkage of that part of the body was responsible for the isolated look of the right leg. The shrinkage of that area includes part of the right arm. According to Happeh Theory, the shrinkage of the body that causes the development of anorexia dent will also shrink the arm on the same side of the body as the anorexia dent, approximately in the area indicated by the arrows. That part of the arm is one of the yin areas of the right arm. The shrinkage of that part of the right arm will give the right arm a tendency to move upwards. Because the arms are connected to each other, the left arm will have a tendency to move up and towards the right arm as the right arm moves upwards. Although the look of the woman's arms is partly due to being positioned that way at the request of the photographer, the woman's arms will always have a tendency to position themselves as they are in the picture because of the anorexia-related shrinkage of the right side of her body. The shrinkage of the right side of the body that created the anorexia dent in the woman's torso has also affected her head. The woman's head tilts to her right, which is the same side of the body as the anorexia dent. The anorexia caused shrinkage of the head is also responsible for the look of the woman's face and hair. The woman's hair is combed so that only the shrunken right side of the face is visible. The left side of the face is completely covered by her hair. The shrinkage of the right side of the woman's head will make her right eye her dominant eye. The woman doesn't care if her hair is covering her left eye, because she behaves as if the left eye is blind. All of the previously noted changes in the woman's body involve the right side of her body. The example woman's body supports the claim stated at the beginning of this video that the condition named Anorexia Dent by Happeh Theory is the result of uneven weight loss that severely shrinks one half of the body. According to Happeh Theory, the changes that the development of an anorexia dent make in a human body are similar to the changes that masturbation forces on a human body. The reason why is that masturbation will shrink the same part of the body that anorexia shrinks. The next part of this video will provide evidence to support that claim. Here is a picture of a nude male human being. Because this is a public video, a loincloth has been drawn over the proof the man is nude. It is reasonable to claim that a man who would take a nude picture of himself would also be a man who masturbates. That is the justification for treating the body of this man as if it has been changed by masturbation. This picture compares the body of the woman with anorexia dent to the masturbation changed body of the man. Although the difference is much smaller in the man than in the woman, the right side of the man's body does look more dented than the left side of his body, like the right side of the woman's body looks more dented than the left side of her body. This picture shows the masturbating man's right hip has shifted to the right like the anorexia dent woman's has. The masturbating man's right leg looks mostly straight up and down while the left leg looks slanted out to the side. The same position the legs of the woman with anorexia dent have. Most of the man's body is to the left of a vertical line drawn through the right hip joint, like most of the woman's body is to the left of a vertical line drawn through her right hip joint. The difference in the leg positions makes the man's hips slant from high on the right to low on the left, like the anorexia dent woman's hips slant from high on the right to low on the left. The main difference between the example anorexia dent woman and the example masturbation man is the shoulders. The shoulders of the woman slant from high on the right to low on the left, while the shoulders of the man slant from high on the left to low on the right. The slanting of the shoulders of the man from high on the left to low on the right is the natural way the shoulders would slant if the right side of the body was shrunken. If the woman was standing naturally, her shoulders would slant from high on her left to low on the right like the man's. The reason the woman's shoulders are high on the right and low on the left is that the photographer has asked her to pose that way, so her body would not have the slumped over look that the man's body has. The man is holding something in his right hand, which is the hand he masturbates with. The man is holding the object in his right hand for reasons similar to the ones that explain why the woman is holding her right arm up in the air. It was stated earlier the anorexia-related shrinkage of the woman's arm would give it a tendency to float upwards. Masturbation gives the same floating tendency to the arm the individual uses to masturbate with. Because the man masturbates with his right hand, it will be his right arm that has a tendency to float upwards. The reason the man is clutching an object in his right hand is because forcing his right hand to close on the object exerts a downward pressure that counteracts the upward floating sensation that right hand masturbation has given the right arm. The man is also clutching the object in his right hand because it gives his right hand and arm physical relief. The act of masturbation involves clutching the penis. Over time, the hand and arm will physically change, so they constantly exert a gripping or clutching force. When the individual is not masturbating, there is nothing in the masturbating hand to stop those gripping or clutching forces from clutching the hand up tight into a fist, which will cause pain and aching in the masturbating arm and hand. By clutching the object in his masturbation hand, the hand is prevented from closing up tight into a fist, which will allow the clutching forces in the masturbation hand and arm to circulate freely, instead of getting stuck in the hand and arm and causing pain and aching.